So it's nice to meet you, Virgo. My name is Princess from Polish Pad, and we're really excited to put a name to a face today and to essentially meet you and see the creative design behind Queen Claws. Like, it's
Yeah,
fantastic. We saw that you had a lot of support round 3 of our the Battle of the Nail Techs, which is
yeah.
fantastic. And I'm really happy that you've agreed to join us on this live today, which is really good. So, first question that we have for you today is: when did your journey as a nail artist begin, and how are you finding it so far?
So I could say maybe I've been doing it for just over a year now.
Wow.
Um, I was looking for something that I can kind of bring out because I'm quite a creative person. So I wanted something that would allow me to be able to work comfortably around family
Okay.
responsibilities, and because I've got a daughter, so I wanted something that would allow me. And I've been looking for a lot of jobs, say years back,
Mhm.
after I left working probation, which was a 9 to 5, and
Oh,
so
okay. So it's that nine to
yeah,
five versus the flexible kind of
yeah,
creative industry.
yeah. And obviously, when I was growing up,
Yeah.
I guess doing stuff within beauty, I was just more focused on doing a lot of administrative work. So I felt like with the skill there,
Yeah.
that mentality was you could get a job anywhere, even though I always had that creative side. So I wanted to do something like this, but I didn't know if it's not as popular as it is like nowadays. It's a really like thriving industry, I guess. So you can actually attain the same kind of aspirational goals as someone that does something which is a little bit more, I don't know if you call it traditional
I'm so
sort of
happy.
thing.
I'm really happy you did say that, and just to put butt in on that comment that you made, because
Yeah,
you are right, especially growing up in a society whereby we may have kind of parents or influences around us who want us to focus on traditional roles.
yeah,
Grow up and be, I don't know, a lawyer, or grow up and be an accountant, or grow up and do a 9 to 5 role. But one thing that I guess our parents don't see and society may not see is that some of us are genuinely just very creative, and
yeah,
the creative industry right now is thriving, especially as you've mentioned, the beauty industry. It is thriving, and that's why it's so fantastic for myself to meet people like you who are so
yeah.
creative. Like, the work that we've seen on your Instagram page is
Oh, thank
it's
you.
amazing. I'm not surprised you want to be honest. I voted for you as well, number 20. But it was fantastic. It was really amazing to see how creative it was. But where did you get your inspiration and your creative flair from? As in, that's a question I genuinely am keen to find out.
Um, I kind of
Or is it
sometimes I will
freestyle? Or
but sometimes I will see something from other nail techs that I follow.
Mhm.
So like I think her name's like a new scar from New Canals,
Okay.
and another lady which does some really good work is I think her name's Charlotte Hennessy.
Yes, I've come
Really,
across that page before.
she's so good, and I do kind of correspond with her as well through Instagram.
Mhm.
She's really good, like in a sense, mentor wise. She really does give a lot of, she does tutorials. She does, like I guess demo and sampling, swatching certain things. And I like to look at that because you just don't know. And I like to kind of get an insight from that. And sometimes I'll look at someone's work and I'll think, how would that look with this? Or just in general, I've always loved drawing as well.
Oh, that's good.
So
It all
I'm
comes
just
together.
yeah, so for instance, with my journey where I did a level 2
Yeah.
in nail in beauty, and from that I then eventually decided to carry on and do advanced nail extension work, just because I wanted to more focus on the art side. Didn't actually want to do the nail. I just wanted
Oh,
to
it's the
draw.
art. And once again, that's the unique side of it. A lot of people focus a lot on the actual like application of the nail, but
Yeah,
nowadays you can see where you're really making a lot of money is the actual creative design
yeah,
on the nails, and that for me is also really good. So it's a great thing that you pick that up.
yeah, and that's why, like, I mean, I think that's why as well I really like, say, with the new canals, because they actually don't do nail extensions. They just only focus more, I think it's natural nail, but it's mostly on the nail art.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of patience, actually.
I was even going to say that to you. So in terms of like trying to like increase your skills, would you say this lockdown period has really given you the time that you've needed to really like work on like increasing your skills and like your creative flair, etc., or the
Yeah,
lockdown hasn't really made a difference?
well, to be honest, during one of the earlier wave of lockdown we're in now,
Yeah.
one of the earlier lockdowns,
Can we?
yeah, like within the early ones, I was still going through my level 3.
Okay.
So my teacher, or my lecturer, should I say, she was actually giving us some tutorials through that time, showing us certain skills and techniques in regards to how to do certain nail art. And then that kind of made me feel like, all right, I noticed at that time a lot of other established nail artists were putting up tutorials. And then I would think, all right, and then I would also, I guess, invest in one of those as well, just because I feel like it's a support thing as well. And then I wouldn't get another way of learning that without them having put in those things up. Because even sometimes, obviously, even though you may go on a course, they're not, unless you ask, you're not going to just randomly say, oh, today specifically this. Especially more technical, advanced stuff. There's only one way to kind of learn it. YouTube helps a lot as well.
I was going to say YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, even a lot of nail techs that say study from home and learn from home, I do think it's helpful to go on a course, because it's just me. I like to learn live as well. Like, I can look at something, but I need to kind of have someone.
Yeah.
It really is a difference. Just like, for instance, my course, the way I now will just paint a nail, because I had that teacher over me, I was just like, yeah, and like, do it again. And it used to make me really anxious, but now it's stuck in my brain that, okay, I have to do it this way, and to get a certain type of result, it actually helps.
Oh, that's amazing.
You pick up certain habits, don't you? If you're just doing it, oh, no one's telling you anything.
You do it your own way, and then you realize you meet a client.
Yeah, you could have been doing it a whole much easier way than this. And obviously, I learned using just hand file first, which is level 2. We don't use a drill. Whereas I know people that just start off, because you've seen the drill when you go to the shops, you just think instantly, I need a drill.
Into it.
And there's actually a lot of, well, the salon I was working in, also having like getting experience in, so I had a lot of older clients. They actually preferred, everyone was scared of the drill.
Because it is damage. If used incorrectly, and from that I've seen, if used incorrectly, the drill can cause a lot of damage to your nails.
Yeah, if it's used wrong, and they'll be so scared of like, oh no, and they'll be like, oh, she doesn't want this. And I'm like, I'm only going to use the drill once I've applied the extension. So you don't need to worry. And that way, and to be honest anyways, I kind of like using a hand file, like a good hand file gets the job done. Especially with shaping.
The nail file actually does the job better. I think the drill probably does the job quicker, but the nail file gives you that precise finish.
Exactly. And when I first started learning, we were told maybe, try and get your service down to an hour and a half. We never had a drill. So I'm there killing myself, thinking, how is this possible? So I got to level 3 and I just see my lecturer just going, choo, choo. I'm like, 1 hour and a half, yeah? It takes a long time. And they're teaching you the skills. So I guess what is unique to me is I've come across a lot of clients who have had nail extensions their whole life. But then when I'm doing prep and just doing a cuticle, they're like, oh, I've never had this before. So in my mind, I'm like, how? Because how's the nail staying on? But that's a whole nother story. Yeah. So and I join a lot of Facebook groups as well.
Really.
Yeah, just to like correspond with people and look at different designs as well. And that's kind of where I will get my inspiration from.
That's really good. And I'm even happy that you've mentioned about joining different Facebook groups, etc. Because at Polish Pad, essentially, we're trying to build a community of nail techs. And because one thing we've realized is that there isn't like a community hub for nail techs specifically to kind of learn from each other, thrive from each other, support each other, gain some sort of direction from each other, and it's fantastic to see how many nail techs are currently interested in learning from each other. Do you see what I mean? And especially with the battle of the nail tech, we saw a lot of more maybe quiet nail techs coming out of their shell, being a bit more creative, trying to submit some of their nail designs for a few of the rounds that we've had, which is really, really, really good. And of course,
I wanted to say as well, just to touch on that, like how I seen the other ones, like when it was first posted out, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna do it, because I just think I'd never win anything anyways. And even the last competition you did, I'd never filmed myself. I always thought about it because it looks all great when they're little like time lapse. But me attempting TikToks this year already showed me it's long. It's so long. The time and effort I think about even attempting to just to put on it and do something is like, so this, it was really hard for me to do it. And funnily enough, I didn't apply, but I actually created like 3 different designs, didn't like it, did another one, didn't like it,
seriously.
And I still never submitted. Yeah. I wanted to, I was like, I didn't like it. And it's funny because one of the designs I did, now I look back, I actually like it. So I should have.
Oh, maybe I should have.
Yeah. But I just didn't have, I don't know, I think you're always criticizing yourself anyways.
Yeah. And that's one thing, as you mentioned, and that's why I think in terms of like the community kind of spirit, one thing you'll realize is, and that's a question I really wanted to ask you, is giving advice to nail techs who are literally just starting up in the industry, because it can be quite daunting, of course, if you see work of more senior or more experienced nail techs and their designs, you're thinking, oh my gosh, like how am I going to produce such amazing work like this? But you've already alluded to the fact that practice makes perfect. And I think that's one key thing that I can pull out from what you have said today, that you've obviously gone for nail courses, seen tutorials, asked questions, joined groups, made community hubs, and that's really made you who you are today. And of course, you're still on that learning progress, and it's like there's no stopping point. You're always going to try and progress and be better for yourself, essentially. But in I know you've mentioned practice makes perfect, but like to any new techs who basically may be watching this or they will see this video, is there any advice that you can give to them when they're just starting up in or trying to become a nail artist or a nail technician?
I would say don't buy an Amazon kit. Don't buy.
Never heard that.
Because you know what? Okay, the best thing I would say that you could do if you really want to buy something and just try it out, because this is what I did. Because I do read a lot of reviews. For me, starting out, the best thing I did was just to get a hand on things. Is, you know, definitely go on a course.
Okay.
Definitely take a course. Like I took a course with Sitting Girls course through a company called Free to Learn.
Okay, fantastic.
So that's if you don't necessarily have like the overhead to go and do something like that, at least you can go there, and it makes such a difference having someone there physically guiding you through, because I have met other people who did courses and they didn't actually get the right kind of intel, and it was a physical course actually. But the things I was telling her, just doing cuticle prep, she was like, oh, we never done that.
You're thinking, what kind of course did you go to?
Yes, I was like, how? But so I would say don't buy like necessarily the cheapest one you can, I guess. Just due to like a couple things, just like the quality, the whole EMA situation as well. We don't want fingers lost and nails and all these kind of situations. And I would say if you really, really want to buy something, I would probably just recommend, you know, like the Kiss kit.
Yes.
I think that I was able to try. And if I was to ever show you the nails I did with that set, but at least I know it wasn't something that was maybe going to be, you know, future damaging to my nail. It's a little bit more legit than something off from wherever. So that, if you really need to buy some stuff, and also just maybe communicating with other nail techs, something that you've seen, and you can kind of, because they do respond and they do like they're open to doing it. I definitely think joining the groups, as I said as well earlier. So groups, some type of product from somewhere a little bit more accredited. And even if you do practice from home, which is also going to help to progress your development in whatever you're trying to achieve, going on a course is really
good.
It's going to be really helpful. Yeah.
Some great gems that you've dropped for our new and upcoming nail artists, because I think in any industry, to be honest, when you are just starting out something new, it can be very daunting, and of course can also be quite challenging. So it's fantastic to know that you've been able to kind of share your journey and explain that, number one, don't just go for the cheapest kits, or to make sure that you have some training, some sort of direct training, should I say, or personal training, so that you can develop as much as you can. And also don't be in a hurry to try and learn like the most difficult thing. Slow and steady always.
I do think just learning or perfecting like a really simple, because funnily enough, when I was younger, before I knew about gel polish and normal, I actually, when I was more of a kid, I used to do like leopard print with normal polish. And I used to love doing that stuff. And it's funny, for me, I can do 3D work, but I cannot master like a rose. I can make a whole glass 3D shoe. Could do that kind of stuff, but I took a long time to be able to master like a 3D rose, a flower. But I'll make a shoe.
I get it's just like, I get it.
Yeah. And then I will say the classes with some of the nail techs, learning certain techniques in terms of how to use detailer brushes and things like that makes such a difference. People don't necessarily know. Maybe you might need certain length brushes and things that you might just think, okay,
I'm taking this in because this is something I didn't know. Wow.
A specific brush that I might use, like 11 or like striper brushes. And I just learned from doing actually I think I learned this from when I did the course with the new course, just how to hold the brush, and obviously having that patience, balancing, pinky out, and some people don't. I've seen people comment and say, I did this whole nail set, I didn't breathe. I held my breath drawing. You're trying to get the straight line, and remember, a nail is a really small canvas to work on. So when you draw stuff, you need to, it's also about positioning and perspective as well. Not just drawing blank in the middle, so that it looks a bit more life-like, I guess.
You're right.
So like these type of things I learned, and having the right type of brush for certain things as well is going to make your job easier. I don't feel like, because this is something also when I was looking at a lot of the nail techs, I guess, that I've had more experience, and they can just do everything with like that one brush. Like, it's okay if you need to take out a dotting tool or use this or that, in your kind of confidence in using like maybe that one tool to do everything will come in time. But when you're starting out, just maybe practice. I guess there's like maybe like 5 specific ones that you will see, like I said, leopard print, zebra print, those kind of things. And then when you master that, then you can kind of take it.
Really good piece of advice. So from yourself being a nail artist, what would you say you love the most about your role? So what is it? Is it the aspect of learning? Is it the aspect of creating new things? Is it the aspect of meeting others?
About what? Just
just learning about your industry in general.
I love just being able to create something and like the face on the client afterwards as well.
That's quite amazing.
That's quite rewarding as well. And sometimes you just get satisfaction from creating something so deep for someone. Because sometimes you'll do something to someone and be like, oh, I wish I had that. You get so gassed over how perfect you drew that line today or whatever. It's a nice kind of that self kind of achievement in that sense. And especially, I guess, the flexibility as well is a big deal for me. Personally, I like the fact that I can work on my own terms. and essentially, I guess, aiming to be like, my own boss, and
amazing.
I like that.
Entrepreneurial spirit, which is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. No, you're right.
And I would like to say as well that I did really appreciate you guys putting on the challenges that you did, because I just feel like during the lockdown as well, where you're not doing any work, I feel like it's a good idea that during these times you keep doing things even at home.
That's what we really
I've been on the hunt for a hand just to practice on, because when it goes back and like you feel like you get a bit rusty because you've not been doing anything.
Yeah, we've said practice. Yeah. Perfect, indeed.
Yeah, so it's nice to be able to kind of, you've got something set around, I've got to do this, and that was really good. Yeah, that was really good to be able to do that. And also for someone like me, I still say, I guess I class myself still as like a beginner.
Yeah.
People might
that's not beginner work. Come on.
No, but
let's give credit where
but I still do feel like, I don't know, like I don't, it's still not as long as, I don't know, in my mind, you just always got this kind of, I want to be even more established.
Of course, which is a good mindset to have. I do.
Yeah. And so where I feel like it's been long, but it's not, I guess, that long, I guess. Sometimes you do feel a bit discouraged to do it because you think it's going to be a lot more established nail techs entering, and you're going to think, let me not even dare to do it, because I saw some amazing work as well on there, like so much nice designs and like ideas. And I guess other competitions that you would see on there it's nice that it was like there was a tone to it. It wasn't just these really, really established, nail techs, is everyone that's just starting out. And even if you are starting out, your work could be something which is really, really detailed, and you can see the concentration that was put into that. So it was nice that everybody was on a certain kind of tone. It was just fun, good sportsmanship, nothing like, just positive.
That's what we were really aiming for, like something quite light-hearted to like increase and boost the spirit of everyone. Of course, we're all in lockdown, or those who are based in the United Kingdom, we're in lockdown now, and we thought from our perspective in the Polish CAD community, what can we really do to get our nail techs engaged? And even if this is the first like nail design they've done throughout the whole of lockdown, let it be like a light-hearted competition, and where we can engage others to vote. And that's why we were really happy, because we saw a lot of nail techs who may not have interacted with us in the past really come out of their shells and saying they really wanted to put in a submission, asking about this, asking about that, how does it work? So that was one thing that we were really, really happy about.